biohacking conversations don't happen as much as they should be happening in India.
Okay.
But the furthest we've gone is speaking about Ozempic in urban centers in our country.
Okay.
What is Ozempic from a first principles thinking
Yeah.
perspective?
So Ozempic was the first one of these, what they call GLP-1 agonists. And it was basically developed for people with diabetes. And it works to slow gut motility, which is like how quickly the muscle, you have muscles around your intestines and they're sort of like pushing things along, right? And if you slow that down, it gives you a sensation of being full.
Gotcha.
So you're not as hungry. And you're not suffering from hunger. So you don't have to like fight it. Where a lot of times people are like, they're trying to lose weight and it's miserable because they're like suffering. They're hungry. They're suffering. And so it kind of helps eliminate that, right? And then they came up, and so that uses one mechanism of action. Then a little time later, and so everyone knows Ozempic. The more recent one, it's called either Mounjaro or Zepbound, is one. The scientific name is tirzepatide, and tirzepatide has two mechanisms of action. So it works a little bit better because it's working on two levels. Okay, and a lot of times people have side effects with Ozempic that doesn't work. They get very nauseous, and people tend to have better results from tirzepatide. And so now you can get tirzepatide, but what they're also seeing is that because it's impacting your metabolic health so much, it seems to be, a protective to your liver. It seems to potentially increase lifespan. And so those you can get prescribed. There's another one now called retatrutide that has three mechanisms of action. And I started experimenting with this about a month ago, just to kind of see what it's like.
Are we talking generally about weight loss drugs here?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah. But it seems like the power of them is beyond just weight loss.
Gotcha.
They're improving your metabolic health because so much of your metabolism, as we were talking about earlier, your metabolism is incredibly complicated and it's affecting everything, all your cells, your cellular health, not just how much weight you have and not just how much fat you have on you. And also when your metabolic health improves, it's easier to keep the fat off of you. And so retatrutide, which isn't, it's still experimental. It's not FDA approved. You can't get prescribed, but I know folks that make peptides that actually just make these things. So I'll get it from them and I'll experiment with it on myself. I was actually tweeting about this a little while ago, and retatrutide is really cool. It's got three mechanisms of action. So one of the things it's doing is it's slowing down your gut so you're not so hungry. It's also just directly sending a signal to your nervous system that you're not hungry. And then it's got a third mechanism of action, which is basically just telling your brain that you're not hungry. So it was wild. Like I did it. I took a very low dose of it. I took a dose that was so low, I thought it would do nothing. This was probably like almost 3 weeks ago. I'm still not eating that much. For like 5 days, I basically didn't eat.
You're also able to maintain your muscle mass because of the...
Yeah, because of the plasmid injection of the follistatin gene therapy. I'm not losing any muscle. It's wild. Yeah. So, I basically didn't eat for 5-6 days straight almost. And I was, getting a little bit loopy because I'm just kind of not eating anything. And my friends are like, you should eat. I'm like, I don't want to eat. I was almost like repulsed by the idea of eating. That's how powerful it was. I mean, I'm not that big, so it has a stronger effect. If you're, 80 pounds overweight and you took that dosage that I did, you wouldn't even feel it. You'd need a much higher dose. So in a way, it almost, because I'm pretty metabolically healthy, I don't need much of it, and it has a very strong effect on me. The first time I did tirzepatide, it was the same thing. I took a super small dose, and for 2 weeks I didn't eat. But yeah, I'm not losing any muscle because my body's just not breaking down muscle.
Hey, if you enjoyed this clip from The Ranveer Show, we've uploaded a ton of other clips related to a ton of other topics. So explore the channel because there's something for everyone.